Hey guys, it's Denise from Someday by the Sea. Thanks so much for stopping by today. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you so much. You guys are the best. So I wanted to make a beachy book stack. And I got these books from the Dollar Tree. And I have the softcover book that was on the top. The hardcover books, I took the flap, the book cover flap, and I just turned it inside out and taped it onto the inside of the books so it doesn't go anywhere, move around while I'm playing with them. Yep, here we go. And I take my antique wax from Waverly and my chippy brush, and I put a small amount of paint on that dry brush, and I'm just brushing lightly over the books, over the top, over the sides. I really want it to look nice and distressed and aged and weathered. I do all the sides, I do the back. All nice and distressed. And I think I'm going to show you, actually. Yep, there it is. See? Cute. Now I had these stickers in my stash. None of them matched for what I wanted to spell out. And I didn't have the right color. So I just cut out a bunch of stickers spelling out "Life is better by the sea," and I painted them in Lagoon. And I just put them aside to dry. Now while the stickers are drying, I took some wood beads and I took some Lagoon paint and a little bit, I sprayed a little water in there too in that little dish, and I just made the paint a little thinner and stirred the beads around and covered them all. And I take cashew, the color cashew, which is also by Waverly, and I do the same thing in the other dish. I put a little bit of paint in and I squirt a little water in there like so. And I should have stirred it first, but nope, I just plopped the beads right in there. Okay, and there we go. Now I'm going to stir. I'm just going to stir those beads till they're all covered. And I take a paper towel and I just drop the beads down there and I pat them dry a little. I get the excess paint off. I'm going to do the same for the Lagoon. Just patting around, getting the excess paint off. And I'm going to take my heat tool and I am going to dry them real quick because that's what the heat tool does. It dries real quick. Now I'm taking some twine and I'm stringing the dry beads onto the twine in a pattern that I like. I just have my notebook sitting there, guys, so didn't mean for that to be there, but there it is. All right, so we're still stringing these beads on. Now I tie a knot in the bottom so the beads don't go flying everywhere. And this is when I took a ride on the struggle bus. This was a little bit of a hot mess, guys. I'm wrapping this twine around my books. There's got to be an easier way. I'm sure there is. I just, I'm impatient and I didn't know what end was where, and I don't know. I figured it out, and just tying a knot so they stay put. And it's kind of like a little mini garland, just a little beaded garland to hang over my books. My beachy book stack. So I'm still trying to figure this out, guys. All right. Now, the stickers are dry. So I am going to apply those to the edges of the book. And there we go. Some of them were a little not sticky anymore. So I did, after I applied all the stickers, I did go over them with some Mod Podge just to make sure that they stuck down and stayed there. Now I have this netting. It's from the summer decor from Dollar Tree, some beach netting, and I draped it over my books. And I have some seashells here too, also from the Dollar Tree. I took two that I liked, and I am going to arrange them on top of the books. Yep, no, I don't like it that way. I'm going to change it. Yep. So I think this way is going to be better. I like it that way. Yep, that's going to be the one. So I'm going to grab my glue gun here, and I'm going to hot glue my first shell right onto the twine and the books. And don't forget the second shell. Boy, that lighting is bad. I'm sorry, guys. I really got to get it together here with the lighting. It is what it is for now. There we go. What do you think of my little beachy book stack? I think it turned out cute. All right, so our next project is I'm going to take these little birdhouses from the Dollar Tree and these little candlesticks that I got at a tag sale, and I'm going to turn them into little beachy birdhouses. So I'm taking my plaster paint, my plaster in Waverly, by Waverly, and I am going to give both of these candlesticks 2 coats of the plaster. Yep, 2 good coats. Oh, I'm at a loss for words right now, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna paint the other candlestick the same way in the plaster. And after they're dry, I am going to take my antique wax by Waverly, and I'm going to take my little brush from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to distress the candlesticks. I have a little bit of paint on that dry brush, and I'm just going over all of the edges. All the nooks and crannies. I take a paper towel and I wipe down a little bit there. And then I just continue to distress my candlestick. I wanted to get it all there. Don't want to miss an edge anywhere. All right. Great. Now, while they are drying, I am taking my little birdhouses and I'm giving them a coat, one coat of the lagoon. And I'm going to paint the top and the edges of both birdhouses. I'm going to get underneath the roof there. And I'm going to paint the house about 3/4 of the way down in the lagoon. Such a pretty color. Such a beachy color, huh? Now I'm taking my antique wax again and a baby wipe, and I'm going to just stain the bottom part of the houses. Off camera, apparently. Nice, Denise. Very nice. Come on, bring it up a little bit. Bring it up a little bit so the people can see. Ugh, terrible. Okay, but yes, so I just continue. I do this to both houses. Just stain the bottom there. And if I got too heavy, I just took the excess off there. No big deal. I want it to look messy. I want it to look aged and weathered. I don't show it, but I also dry brush some plaster on there after I distress with the antique wax. But with the antique wax, I go over all of the edges of the roof, the edges of the house, just to give it that beautiful distressed weathered look. And I'm going to do that to the second house too. Apparently I left this part in for you to see because I don't know why I did. But, well, you get to see it again. How about that? So I'm just going to stain the bottom just like the first house. Kind of make it blend in there with the lagoon. And after they're dry, I take my super glue from the Dollar Tree and I just put that in a couple spots on the candlestick, and I take my hot glue and I don't mix the two glues. I put them on different parts of the candlestick. The super glue is going to give you that permanent hold, while the hot glue gives you that instant hold, because I'm very impatient and I want it done now. So I'm just going to glue both houses onto my candlesticks. More hot glue. Center the house. I think that's the hardest part, is centering it. And there you have it. Oh, 2 beachy birdhouses. Now, I have this little treasure chest, and I'm just taking the hardware off the front with my little screwdriver set. And then put that aside. All right. And I take take a guess, antique wax and a baby wipe, and I am going to stain my little treasure chest here. Gonna wipe the top, gonna do the sides. And this dries so fast. I didn't even need the heat tool with this because it just dries so fast. Putting the hardware back on. I don't know why I wanted you to watch me do this, but here it is. Good as new. Now a treasure needs treasure. So I have some floral moss from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put a little bit of that in first. Just a little. Don't need too much. Just to make it look like there's some seaweed and moss in there growing. And what's a treasure chest without treasure? I mean, we have Totally Dazzled here, and we have some pearls from the Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna fill my treasure box. Now, after I had all my treasure in my treasure box, I decided that I wanted to distress a little bit. So that's a little backwards, guys. I you know, usually distress before I would put something in there, but I don't know. This is the way it turned out today. So I'm just distressing a little bit, and it's actually, I didn't even tell you, it's black chalkboard paint from Dollar General. There. I think that looks good. Maybe a little more. Just to give it some texture. And there we go. Cute little treasure chest. And here is everything all together. I hope you like my little beachy book stack here. Life is Better by the Sea. My little beach houses. And of course our treasure chest. I hope you like it, guys. I think it turned out cute. Let me know in the comments below. Well, what did you think? If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up and hit subscribe. See you next time.